It's a beautiful day in Vermont, y'all. So stinking beautiful. Good morning. It's day 19. This is the last day. I was going back through looking at videos from my beginnings. How bright-eyed and bushy-tailed I was. How excited. Gleeful. Oh, that was not Long Trail Hard and Slider. But this has been an adventure, y'all. I cannot believe we're here at the start of the last day. And I didn't get eaten by a bear yet. But this has definitely stretched me in many ways. But overall, in between the moaning and groaning, I have enjoyed being out here and I've enjoyed this experience. And you know, it's not something you get to do every day, so definitely not taking that for granted. But man, oh man, has this been an experience. And by some stroke of luck or the forest fairies, dried my clothes last night. This is something that never happens. If I hang my clothes up and they're damp, or they're like even mildly damp, I hang them on my hammock straps, they're damper in the morning. But no, this morning they were dry. I was like, oh, what wizardry is this? My shoes are still soaked, which is to be expected, but my clothes were dry. So, thank you, forest gods. Didn't have to put on wet clothes the last day. So, we're already feeling great just because of that. I'm sitting here having my trail mocha. I'm all packed up. It's around 6 o'clock, 6:30 maybe. So I woke up at 5:30 and it's like the last day of school. But I'm excited to get started and to get finished. I've made accommodations at the Woodshed Lodge. They will pick me up from the end of the trail. So Gray Man is coming to retrieve me, but I don't think he'll be here in enough time to pick me up from the end of the trail. So I can, they have a shuttle that they'll come and pick me up if I need them to. So this whole thing has been surreal. And I'm sure after I get off trail, I'm gonna start to digest, especially going back through and making these videos for y'all. I'm gonna digest a lot. And you know, it's funny when you're out here, you're just in this weird loop or tunnel, and you can't remember what happened because it all feels the same, because it all is the same. But I don't know. Last day. It's a beautiful day in Vermont, y'all. So stinking beautiful. We are departing J Camp. Just signed the logbook. A bit of a conundrum, not really conundrum, but instead of continuing north on the Blue Blaze, I'm backtracking, which goes against my nature as a brook holder. But apparently, as my father and I were just talking about, it's also our nature to do things the hard way. So, in order to connect white blaze to white blaze, I must backtrack on this blue blaze. And then start walking north on the white blazes. That's what we're doing. Okay, there's a sign. Oh my gosh, I can't do it. I just quit. I can't do that. White blaze. Blue blaze. This is where we turned off last night to go to J Camp. This is where we're going north. Up and away to J Peak. LETSGO. Last night when I was talking to my dad, or this morning, last night, can't remember, last night, I said, you know, I keep saying we. He's like, who's we? I thought I should clarify for y'all too. We is me and my shadow, Kate and Slider, the multiple personalities that are living inside me, out here on the trail. There's no one else here. There's just me. So, we, the royal we. However, at one point we did include Lookout, but that was for about 5 or 6 days. So, otherwise, we is me, myself, and I. We are about 1.5 miles in. Just got up and over J Peak. There's a couple up there having themselves a little breakfast with their dog Wally. Whew. We are leaving the ski area. Back into the forest we go. J Peak was not that difficult. Felt a little bit like Killington. It was nice, kind of gradual. There was some rock scrambling, but now we're going down. Apparently the next couple peaks are not as fun. So, according to the comments, they're more long trail oriented, not day hiker oriented. But the bugs are making themselves known. So now let's ride like the wind. We are 2.8 miles in, just past Laura Woodward Shelter. There's no way I would have made it there last night with a soggy ass feet. So it all worked out. Crazy man wasn't at the J Camp. I was there by myself, and now we're moving on. There were 2 youths there. Looks like their backpacks exploded. They said they were doing a flip-flop and just started on the northern section today. So, symmetry. They just started. I'm finishing. Love little moments like that. Y'all know that. But we got 8 miles or so to go, or more, I guess, including the walk to the parking lot. But that'll be a nice cool down. Oh, yuck. I am making a conscious decision to not listen to any music or books or podcasts today. I believe the term that the youths use this day is raw dogging it. But when I grew up, that meant something very different. Just to be present in this last day, not to try to put my head down and get through it. I do want to really experience it. So anyways, that's what we're doing today. Trying to be present in these last few miles that we have on this godforsaken trail. Also, I feel like I should clarify something. I keep referring to young people as youths, and you might be like, Kate, you look kind of young yourself. Maybe not. Maybe you're like, oh, she definitely looks how old she is. I don't know. I don't want to put words in your mouth. But one of the funny things that has happened and lovely things that has happened out here is the people that I have come across and talked to for extended periods of time, usually it comes up because I'll say I have 3 kids, and they're like, oh, you're not old enough to have 3 kids. And I'm like, yes, I am in fact old enough to have 3 kids. And then they might be like, oh my gosh, maybe I put my foot in my mouth, like maybe she's a teen mom. Not a teen mom. People are assuming that I'm like 10 years younger than I actually am. So that's been wonderful. I've loved those compliments. And then I proceed to tell them that my grandfather once told me that I have a fat face and teeth like a cow, so I'll look young for a long time, and I guess he's right. So thanks for the compliment, KO. But maybe it's because I have me hat on. They can't see me gray hairs. I don't know. But bless all y'all. We made it up Doll's Peak. Now we're going down. The comments, much like Shakira's hips, did not lie. Doll's Peak was a bad bitch. But now we're going down. But we might have second breakfast first. That's what we'll do. We'll have second breakfast. Then we'll tuck and roll. It appears there's been a murder. It is 12:00. Just stopped here. Get another liter of water. We've got about 5.5 miles to go, y'all. Probably more like 6.5, because that trail I gotta take to the parking lot, but 5.5 long trail miles until we get to Canada. It's crazy. Crazy. 2 more mountains to go. I want to say Burnt Mountain and Carlton. So 2 down, 2 to go. The end is in sight. I can smell it. I was guzzling some water and got choked. Imagine that. And I had to spit the water in my mouth out. And I was like, no! It was like having to dump breast milk out. Like, I worked so hard for that. I've walked so many miles. I filtered it. It's clean. I just spit it out. We have pulled off at Shooting Star Shelter. I debated on whether I wanted to stop for lunch because we've got a rhythm going. We are in flow. But I said, you need to stop and you need to eat food Kate. So we're gonna take a little time out, eat some food, get back on it. But 4.4 left after this. I suspect this is why they call it Shooting Star, because you could lay out here and look at the stars. Clever. We are 2 miles from the end, 2 miles to Canada. So I think it's high time that I share with you fine folks my secret to not getting poison ivy. If you don't know how to identify it, you can't get it. It's as simple as that. We're on top of Carlson Mountain. The last climb up on this whole dang thing. 1 mile left. Yeah. What's she gonna do at the end, y'all? Is she gonna ugly cry? Is she just gonna be like, well, that's that. Add long distance hiker to my resume. We don't know what she's gonna do. We've already decided this ladder is a crier. 1 mile, 1 mile, 1 mile. That's bananas, y'all. I have passed quite a few day hikers and section hikers today, and it's been so uplifting because they're all like, oh my gosh, you're so close to the end. That's amazing. Congratulations. I'm like, I know, right? I've passed 3 gentlemen doing sections or whatever. They look, ooh, oh feather. They look retired, like they're just, you know, living life on their terms is what it looks like. And they were asking me about my travels and what have you. And they were like, what was the hardest part? I was like, leaving towns. And they're like, oh, honest answer. And I also told them about being alone, not touching people. And then I proceeded to tell them that I had 3 kids. They're like, no, you don't. I was like, sure do. So I'm only getting more confirmation that fat face and teeth like a cow's working overtime. Well, it's kind of fun, no? We did it. 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 Oh, I did it. We did it. Don't tell. have my doubts. And now it's time for our victory treat. Because I'm like, great man, I will not drink a hot beer. No. Oh my gosh, let's put these elf ears away. Yee. So I thought a perfect symbolic treat for the end would be, even though we've already decided that Vermont maple syrup is not as good as where I come from. Don't tell them. So I thought the perfect treat would be a maple leaf shaped chunk of maple syrup, sugar, candy. Woo! Yeah. That is sugary. Ooh. I used to love these things as a kid. I can't believe my parents let me eat them. My daughter will lose her mind if she had one of these. Oh my gosh. Whew. Small doses. Oh my gosh, y'all. We did it. 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 So now that we're at the end, let's go back to the beginning. I'll tell y'all why the hell I'm out here. So last summer, my dad, last year, gray man, my dad, hiked the Appalachian Trail. And let's get y'all set up here. Part of his thing with hiking the trail was that he wanted anyone who wanted to come join him and hike a couple days, a week, whatever they wanted to do. So since I'd never been to Vermont, I said, well, I'll come meet you in Vermont and we'll hike Vermont together. So I unknowingly started the long trail last summer when I was hiking on the AT with my dad. And so then I thought, I've got 54 miles. Let's just finish it. Let's close the loop on that bad boy. I fell in love with hiking when I went hiking with him. And we've gone on a couple day hikes since then. We went on one overnight hike. So me just thinking let's just finish the long trail was something that, that's all the thought I put into it. I didn't do enough research, if I'm being honest. I mean, clearly I don't even know what poison ivy looks like. So am I fit to be out here? Probably not, but I am, and I did it. So, you know what? That's a moot point. But what I did realize when I was hiking with my dad was that hiking was something that I could do where there was no other option, where there was I couldn't do anything other than hiking. And I am a mom of 3. I've already established this. I run my own business, and I have for the last 7-8 years. And last summer when I went hiking with him was the first legitimate vacation I had taken since I started my business. I'd take my laptop with me everywhere I went. I'd work during nap time, or I'd get up early or go to bed late, or, squeeze in work wherever I could. So I was never fully off. But when I went hiking with him, there was no option. I couldn't take my laptop with me. So I was like, oh, I love this because there's no option other than this thing that we're doing. There's no, let me squeeze in a few little edits here, there, whatever. And so I had that realization when I went hiking with him. And it kind of cracked open this idea that, that could be an escape from everything, right? But let's put a pin in that because I'm going to come back to that. So after a few hard years of just kind of ups and downs in my business and raising 3 children, I was burning the candle at both ends, or pretty much as my friend and client Carrie says, is I cut that candle in half and was burning from more ends. So, and I wasn't taking good care of myself or prioritizing myself like most moms do, most working parents do. And so I thought, you know what? I'm going to do what I need to do to get my affairs in order, to get childcare covered, to get enough money in the bank, enough business built up so that I can leave and finish this hike. Because I need a reset. I need to stop burning all these candle ends and take a time out. And so that's what I did. And my friend Bree told me a story about how she was going through a really rough season in her life of grief and loss and just overextending herself and overwhelm and all that stuff. And she's also a mom and a designer. And she told me that she and her family went on a road trip, kind of like a cross-country road trip, and for 30 days. And she was very conscious about what she missed. And she was, you know, her thing was, what do I want to add back into my life, or what do I want to invite back into my life? And so as I've been hiking, that is that's the mindset or that I've had while I'm out here is, what do I miss? Like, what am I so glad that I'm not dealing with right now? Or what do I absolutely not want to invite back into my life? Or what do I want to invite back in my life? And so those are the questions I've been asking myself while I've been out here, you know, and kind of being open to like what thoughts creep in or what downloads I get. And so this was a very big, laborious, intentional pause on real life. I think maybe in the future I'll just take, like, you know, regular vacations and not bring my laptop with me. I think that's a better alternative than this, but here we are. But so I put a pin in something and I wanted to come back to it, putting a pause on real life, and that's what it is out here. You know, I have, I guess, an epiphany or a download has been, you know, I'm not solving any problems while I'm out here. I'm not fixing anything. This is just, it's giving me the space and the mental clarity and capacity to see what needs to be addressed or what needs to be changed or fixed or worked on or whatever, right? I'm not, you know, in a way it is running away from your life and from your problems, but overall it's kind of allowed me breathing room to see, you know, to see what I want coming back to real life, how I want real life to be, what I want to invite back in my life. So that's what I've been doing out here, y'all. But I am so stinking excited to go home, squeeze my babies. We are taking the Blue Blaze to the parking lot where a nice man by the name of Owen is going to pick me up, take me to his establishment where they have a hot tub. That's where Gray Man's going to come collect me from. I'm so glad it's over, y'all. I mean, I guess in 1.3 miles it'll be over. It's kind of a tease. You made it to Canada! Now walk 1.3 miles. What's another 1.3? After you've walked 270. We are at the Woodshed Lodge. We are all sparkling clean. We're just waiting on old Gray Man to get here so we can feast.